the Next Steps Conference. My guests in studio will have the opportunity of commenting on all of those things because they all have to do with the governance of the country. He's been one of the persons we've been speaking to help us put issues into context, especially when it has to do with governance and our politics. Professor Jasper Abembia Ayelazuno shortly. But before we do that, let me remind you that Heat Foundation collaboration with Ramsey Regenerate Medical Center is inviting you in the general public to a free 3-day cancer screening exercise from Thursday 18th June to Saturday 20th June 2026. So start tomorrow, Thursday 18th June to Saturday 20th June 2026 between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Like I said, it's a free 3-day cancer. They are screening for cancer. They'll cost you money. They've decided to do it for you for free. At least find out your status. The screening covers cervical cancer, breast, and prostate cancers. So cervical, breast, and prostate cancers. And will take place at the Ramsey Regenerate Medical Center, Asalam Down, near the Burkina Faso Embassy. All you can do is put in Africa House. Africa House will take you directly to them. Remember, early detection saves lives. Take advantage of this opportunity and encourage your family and friends to get screened. Get screened. For further inquiries, call 0242 072416 or 0501 396908. You can also call 0556 960731. Prof, good morning.
Good morning, Senna. Good morning to the team. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
Holding our leaders accountable. And I think you must be commended for doing that. And then you are celebrating your 30th
Yes, we are 30 years, yes.
And I'm told most of the leading media personalities actually cut their teeth here, right?
Yes.
Wow.
We've been quite a production house for the media.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have you in studio. Prof is stationed, you are in the Tamale School, right?
Yeah, UDS.
Okay.
The Nyankwala campus.
Okay, the Nyankwala campus.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where Prof is. And we've been speaking to him on many issues. So when he does come to town and he's not too busy, we invite him in studio to come and join us. So we have expand a conversation on the many other issues.
Thanks so much.
And it's nice to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
We'll also talk about a book that you put together.
Yes.
It's a very interesting book to read and go through about the politics of Galamsey. Especially monitoring what happened under Akufo-Addo and the lessons for the governments that
the present government.
Yes. Anyway, but first let me start with what I just landed on. The Next Steps Conference. First, what's your view on the matter of reparation?
Reparation, I think, is a legitimate cause.
Okay.
Because, as you know, the history of Africa, we have been, exploited.
Okay.
We suffered the violence of the slave trade,
followed
by the violence of colonialism, and we are still suffering from the violence of neo-colonialism.
Okay.
So actually, the violence has been continuous up till date.
Okay.
So the fight for reparation, especially some of the, our treasured things that were taken away, and the fact that we lost a lot, especially our able-bodied, capable people were taken to the New World.
Okay.
All this had a very detrimental effect on our development, and we are still suffering from that, dark history where we have been subjugated to these brutal acts of imperialism, slave trade. So it is a legitimate cause, it's a legitimate advocacy that we must all support, because we really deserve reparation and even compensation for all the violence. So I really applaud those who are at the forefront of this struggle, and I think it is one of the things every African must really take interest and get involved. in the fight for reparation and even compensation.
At the forefront is our president, because he's the one who is convening this.
Exactly.
He's the African champion for it.
Exactly.
Very, very interesting resolution we managed to get passed at the UN.
Yeah.
In fact, there were many states who held the opinion that we're asking them to rank crimes by calling the greatest crime against humanity. Did they have a point when they said you cannot rank crimes?
Why can't you rank crimes? You can rank crimes because every crime is not a crime. There are degrees of seriousness and the impacts, especially when it becomes not just the financial or material, indicators of the impact of the crime or the degree of the crime, but in terms of the seriousness, if it leads to somebody dying. It's not the same thing as just a mere crime of somebody, defrauding you. I mean, the two are not the same. And that is just talking about common crime. So even in terms of criminology and the crimes, there are degrees of seriousness. So that's why you have felony, and then you have misdemeanors and all that. So when it comes to crimes, we can really rank them, and slavery, I will argue, is the greatest crime against humanity. I mean, people can argue that Africans were already enslaving themselves and all that stuff, but that is not to nuance the different levels and the dynamics of the domestic slavery and this obnoxious slave trade that was undertaken by the whites, enslaving Africans. So when you look at the sufferings, if you read the history of the way people suffered, the conditions in which people were taken and kept, and especially making that journey from Africa to the New World, how they were treated in the ship, in cases where they were thrown overboard, anything. I mean, it is brutal. I don't know what else can compare to that in terms of violence. So I think this was just a no-brainer that this should be considered one of the greatest crime in humanity. And I was shocked that some people thought that this was why are you doing this, because even Africans were participated. That is to sound like a bit shallow, because if you say Africans participated, which Africans participated? I mean, because if a few elites were complicit, it doesn't mean that the majority of Africans were complicit in this. Actually, majority of Africans actually suffered the violence. So to take a few, there are always people who are prepared to benefit from a particular wrongdoing or crime everywhere. But that doesn't minimize the impacts, the egregious human rights abuses, and the violence and its impact on our own development. Mind you, these were valuable, our most energetic and strong people who were taken away. When you go to the US, you see that one day an average Black American, you see him very tall, because they were selecting the best, the best
in terms
to take
of strength and
yes. So how can you cannot even begin to think that this is just anything that is bothersome, just they use the politics as usual. So what the president did actually elevated the image of Ghana at the international level, and that was one of the greatest things for him to do. Yeah.
What do you think reparation, or what has been called reparative justice, what form do you think it should take?
I think it can take many forms, but I think I'm told some of some of our valuable, I don't know the word to describe it, were taken away.
The artifacts.
The artifacts and all that. were taken away, I mean, it's legitimate for them to return.
Okay.
I wish I can get examples of some of them, but it will definitely include gold and all those things. So those that are still in the museums in the, let's say, in Britain, it's just legitimate that you return them to us. What is so strange, or what is the big deal when you ask that you return things that you have taken from us? Now, I think reparation can also take, like, we're asking for a public apology, that this to acknowledge that you really did violence to us and our ancestors. What is wrong with this request? And even, like I said, compensation. I mean, monetary compensation will be something that we can ask for. Like all these debts that they said we are owing them. I mean, you can cancel them as a way of as a compensating for what the violence that you perpetrated against us. So I will. These are some of the things I can think of. Yeah.
And finally, and I think the point has been made abundantly, that this is perhaps one of the times or the periods when, on this matter alone, on this subject matter, we've been able to unite virtually the entire Africa.
Yes.
That this provides a platform for us to start a bigger discussion on how we can work together, not only for something like this, but also in the interest of the African continent. Exactly. How can we always carry one voice to every... do you agree that perhaps this is the best time to have start having that conversation?
Because the way our president, His Excellency John Mahama, really led this campaign and got the support of other African leaders, this is one time, one rare occasion that Pan-Africanism was at its best. Pan-Africanism in action, I will call it. So I will think that we should just stay on this course. This just continue like that. We shouldn't let the momentum to die down.
Okay.
And to use it to marshal, support one voice, like you are saying, the Pan-Africanist spirit, to stand as one Africa. Because the division among us is one of the colonial grand designs, to divide us and make us weaker. So if we are able to unite as one Africa, then we can really become a force to reckon with, both politically and economically. Imagine the whole Africa using one currency. I mean, it is going to be huge economically, because we are able to stand as one and say this currency is what we accept, and then it is as good as the dollar, and that would have been huge. But we have several currencies, so how to manage it monetarily is a problem. Imagine us trading, borderless trading among ourselves. Goods crossing, people crossing the borders. This they are just borders drawn by the colonial powers. But Africa is Africa. So if we are able to cross and trade among ourselves, that would have been a huge economy that can stand or compete with the likes of China, European Union, and the US. So, I mean, there's a lot that can be done if we stay on this course and continue on this road of unity, one voice, going to the UN, demanding Africans, to get what Africa deserves as one voice. See the respect we earn, and this is something that Nkrumah, being a visionary, he was already championing the United States of Africa. I think we have to go back to that campaign, that vision of Nkrumah. And this is what President John Mahama is, I think he's just following the footsteps of Nkrumah in leading this Pan-Africanist international relations that he's doing. Yeah.
I see. Somehow there's one other issue that has come to mind whilst we're talking about working together.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are part of a generation that actually were strongly attached to the South African issue.
Yeah.
Apartheid.
Yeah.
At the time. And there were many people who even felt South African and felt a part of the struggle to get them out. Are you in any way disappointed by what you're seeing in terms of a small voice, a small group of people being allowed to run rampage in the treatment of other African countries without you are not seeing a lot more from
the politicians? Yes. It's unfortunate. Like you rightly pointed out, and this started from the days of Nkrumah being who he is, the Pan-Africanist that he was, supported the struggle against the anti-apartheid struggle. You know, with so many resources, and that has continued throughout the apartheid days with our government and other African countries, supporting the anti-apartheid struggle. So we were fighting with them against the obnoxious apartheid and discriminatory regime. So were we doing that for them to get independence and turn around to see us as, people who are different from them, and that, the violence that they are using against other African citizens, and the politicians somehow tacitly, being complicit in this because they are not really condemning it, and they are not doing anything drastic to address the problem. In fact, when Ghana decided to, in the right again, an act of, a leader who is very compassionate, we went and brought our people home. They are saying that they are now even thinking that they will charge countries who want to, bring back their citizens. Can you imagine that kind of attitude? Is that the way you pay back to countries or states your own Africans who were in the trenches fighting this apartheid system that led to the liberation? That's not the best way, especially at this time that, like we talked about, we are talking about the discourse of a Pan-African, approach to the international order, international politics. It shouldn't be. This is not the time to be undertaking this somehow discriminatory policies or actions. Yes, I understand that there are a few citizens. It's not that all South Africans are in support of this. But the bigger question is what is the state, the South African state, the political elites who have the power, what are they doing to stop it? And when you ask that question, you begin to see that there's nothing that is really being done seriously to address the problem. So it's again a very it kind of detracts the common voice, the one voice that we are talking about, the Pan-African spirit. It is just a negation of all these positive things that President John Mahama is campaigning or championing. So I just hope that the leaders of the South African state will do something about this thing, because it's really a drawback on the Pan-African cause.
Well, I don't want to stay on this for so long because it looks like there's a lot to comment on when it comes to matters of our politics. What do you make of and I'm sure you understand how this immigration systems work. What do you make of the decision? What is the latest development on the Ken Ofori-Atta matter? I've spoken to you on a couple of occasions. You've expressed disappointment at the fact that even the NPP has been eerily quiet on the matter. They've not even said, Ken, come back and answer questions. First of all, why is that an important step for you when it comes to the New Patriotic Party and their quest for power? They're already shouting, "We'll be back in 2028."
Yes.
How does this then tell the Ghanaian, do not go there?
It's honestly, as in terms of governance, as a political scientist who is concerned about political accountability and concerned about this democracy being a democracy that is really governance or government by the people. And the fact that our constitution says the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people. So in that sense, all the leaders who are given the privilege to lead must account to the people. I mean, not just in matters of procedures, but in substance. And this is one case that the substance matter. You were our finance minister. I think there is an act that is the Public Financial Management Act 2016, which requires that all duty bearers must manage the resources of Ghana prudently, transparently, and must account at the end of the day for their management of these resources and our assets. Reading that together with the Constitution, which requires that sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana, it is just a moral duty. I would say it's just a moral duty that if you are given the privilege to serve in the capacity of that higher level of political position as finance minister, it's just a moral duty that you should account.
Prof, is it only moral? Is it also not?
I'm just speaking from the moral perspective, because this is somebody who is a Christian. You remember?
Yes.
He goes to the parliament to read the budget, and he starts with a verse in the Bible. He's wearing white. So morality, the moral compass, you expect his to be a bit higher or to be broader, and in that sense, nobody should be calling him to come. It should be a moral duty. So if we leave, I think that road is not what he is concerned about now. So now it becomes a legal or responsibility of the Ghanaian state to get him to account, to get him back to Ghana. And I'm thinking that there must be legal processes, extradition processes between Ghana and the U.S., just like it happened in the case of this other lady, Tamaklo or something, Miss Tamaklo, who has been brought back from the U.S. So I'm thinking that the Ghanaian state still has, I heard my lawyer Martin Kwebu saying that it's a bit now harder. I get that, but I think it hasn't closed that road where the Attorney General can, or the OSP can initiate process. And I think processes have been initiated. So getting a green card is like lawyer Martin Kwewe was saying, it's right to get a green card. The two are not connected.
Okay.
So, but I was just surprised that there's a comment that the judge said the criminal offenses that Ghana is pursuing are not credible.
Yeah, and that's according to his lawyers. We haven't seen the judgment.
Yeah, and like your colleague Nancy was saying, I mean, how can you relate the two? This is an immigration issue, totally different from this other issue that is being investigated. You haven't gone into the merits of the case, so you can't make that determination. And to come to the NPP, I'm like, okay, so do you really want to come to power? I mean, you are celebrating this, that your finance minister should stay away from accountability. He should run away from accountability. What are you going to tell the Ghanaian people in 2028? To tell them that you support corruption, you support, that politicians can do whatever they want, and they get to run away. The ordinary citizen steals even a bunch of cassava, and he stays and is accountable, and you giving that privilege, and you are celebrating this. I'm wondering whether they really understand what is happening in Ghana. The electorates are not ready to tolerate this. People, especially the middle class, are very much sensitive to people who are not ready to be held accountable. So maybe you be talking to your base. For your base, you don't need to do anything. They will vote for you. But are you able to convince the middle class people who are very, very, rational in terms of their decisions, in evaluating the performance of a party or its leaders, and then deciding who to vote for? You can't convince them by saying that it's a good thing for Ken Ofori-Atta to stay away in the US and should not come to account. I think they are just shooting themselves in the foot. I just don't understand what they are, what really informs this kind of attitude, because I think they are very smart people who have won elections several times in this country. So I don't know what has become of them, that they should be kind of Ofori-Atta alone. Why will you rather sacrifice the collective good of your party for one person? Why? I don't understand.
You think this would definitely affect them in the next election?
It's a big. What do you need to do? You just tell every discerning voter that their former finance minister is not here. Why are they not bringing? They are even celebrating him running away from justice. Just imagine a message like that. How are you going to counteract it? How are you going to, what is your rejoinder to such a message?
They have made a point that the government has not, as he admitted, made a strong case for Ken Ofori-Atta to come back, that they've not started any prosecutions in a court, among others.
I think the OSP is investigating, and I think it has gone ahead to probably even make a request. He should just come and answer the questions. It's not about prosecution.
Okay.
You have served in it. That's why I say it has to do with political accountability. Okay, if your moral conscience doesn't tell you that I'm accountable to the people, there's a legal, there are legal issues involved, which are very serious. Because if you keep staying away and they probably decide to try you in absentia, what does it mean? I mean, if you are found guilty, then that means you don't even have a chance again. You are a fugitive. So in that sense, you are making your case worse. But I'm even talking about the collective goal of the NPP as an opposition party that is waiting to take over from the ruling party. What are you doing to promote that political goal? You are just behind, or you are supporting one person, one individual, and then you're ruining your whole, political agenda. Because it's a big deal. That how are you going to convince Ghanaians that you are a party that is, accountable, a party that is for good governance, a party that will support due diligence, value for money, and that you are more a credible party when it comes to corruption than the NDC. The NDC will just point to your finance minister, whom you are shielding and actually hailing for staying away from accountability. How would that sound to the average rational voter? Now, I'm not talking of their base. For their base, they have it. Both parties have their bases. Maybe equal number of voters who, whatever you do, they will vote for them. But those who are staying in the middle, those who are not so aligned, those who are not so loyal, and can switch their votes based on performance, based on your credibility, this will not fly with them. So that's why I think they are shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, if you just join us, we're having a conversation with Professor Jasper Abembia Ayelazuno. We'll get to that book shortly. But before we do that, two resignations have attracted a lot of attention.
I don't know why that is happening.
Yes. The interesting matter, in fact, the first one that everybody is asking questions about is the one of Sophia Akufo.
Yeah.
She is there because she's a former Chief Justice.
Yes.
And then out of the blue, we are told that she has resigned.
Yeah.
Is it important for us to ask her and those who received the letter to tell us why?
Yes, I think so, because transparency is the rule of the game. You are the president promised transparency, accountability. So we should know the reasons she gave for resigning. That is no longer something that is secret or something that is confidential. She has resigned and she has given you a reason. And in terms of democracy and political accountability, you have to let people know why she resigned. And the Council of State is one of the constitutional bodies that is supposed to promote good governance.
Okay.
So if one of the ex-members has resigned, we need to know the reason. Then we can begin to say these are legitimate reasons or they are not. That can be a debate. But now we don't know the reasons. And I'm thinking that, well, she's a good woman. I mean, I like the way she participated in the struggles against that haircut that was inflicted on pensioners, despite her relationship with the then incumbent president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. I learned they are cousins or something.
Yeah.
He came out, and was picketing at the Ministry of Finance. I think by then Ken was still the finance minister.
Minister,
yeah.
Yes.
So, so it shows that she speaks her mind, and she's about the interests of the collective interests of the country and not any political party. So I want to believe that she has very good reasons for tendering in her resignation. But they should let us know what the reasons are. I don't think it's something in the spirit of transparency, we should know the reasons. Otherwise, it is her right to decide to resign and then maybe live her life. And then you can't force her. So, but once it's a mandatory obligation that the president must appoint a former Chief Justice. Then he has about 3 people, and we don't know who he's going to appoint. Yeah.
Are you counting former Chief Gertrude Okonwa?
Yes, he's a former Chief Justice. I don't know whether the removal makes her disqualifies her or not. I think the constitutional lawyers
have to explain. Okay.
Have to explain that. But she definitely is a former Chief Justice, so I don't know. The circumstances surrounding her removal may disqualify her, but that should be something the lawyers can really get us to understand. Yeah.
Then there's also the part about Bosman Asare.
Yeah.
Bosman Asare is part of a very controversial electoral commission that a lot of people continue to still criticize.
Yes.
People should we consider his resignation as just good riddance and move on? That nobody will miss him. Like really, we're not big on the work people were doing anyway. How should it be approached? Because you don't even see defense from the NPP.
It will depend. Okay. Because I'm thinking that he's my colleague. And a very good academic. He was a good lecturer, and in terms of scholarship, he has really proved his worth.
Okay.
So, and then he transitioned to
the Electoral Commission.
Electoral Commission, where as political scientists, we are supposed to put our theories to practice.
Okay.
So, and then he got there, and I think a number of things that happened during his tenure with the current chair of the EC. It makes Ghanaians to think, this EC the credibility is not so solid, and he would be part of that. He's part of that team that the perception is that the credibility is wobbling. So in that sense, I don't know whether he said he's going back to the academia, which is welcome. Is his field. He's allowed to come back. But then what do you do to this? Can he distance himself or separate himself from this perception that under their tenure, the EC lost credibility? That is a question. And most people will cite SAL as one of the serious matters. And me, as a political scientist who believes power belongs to the people, and I'll do whatever if I'm in that position, there's no way. That would have been the point I would have resigned. The point where SAL citizens were denied representation.
There was strong grounds.
Yeah. That would have me, the way I believe that democracy works is about the people. And to deny, even if you deny one person the right to be represented, that's a serious matter. So if, from a political science perspective, if he was on that, he held those principles, that would have been the time to resign. And then he said, no, I'm not going to be part of this. I can't really, as a political scientist who knows what democracy is and knows what that democracy is about the people, I cannot really be part of the commission that has denied even one person representation in parliament.
So your feeling is that he should be one of those who should know better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the point. That's what I'm saying. If I were in his position, that was the point I was going to leave. And people will hail you because you are standing for the people. But at this point, I think he just said he's leaving not because of any reason, not because of anything, but to return to the academy. So
has he covered himself in glory? Because, like you said,
I don't think so. Because if you are going to, some people may think that, well, the EC, because just imagine another thing, the CIs that were brought in 2019 for, I think that kind of
the registration,
the ID that you need to register, that was another serious matter. It was like, some so elitist. You are not thinking about the ordinary people. Because some of the photo IDs or the IDs that they said they wanted, they withdrew with that CI, the CI that replaced CI 91, was very, just like an attack on the right of ordinary people to vote, because how many people were going to be able to have a passport and a Ghana card? I don't know why will you do that? The EC is about you should facilitate ordinary people to register and have the right to vote, because that's the only chance they get to decide who governs. That's the only chance they can give. They can legitimately give elect people to represent them. So if, as much as possible, if you are sitting there and you really believe in this participatory democracy, representative democracy, you should be facilitating, easing the obstacles that block people from voting or getting the right to vote. And that is registering and voting. So as much as possible, I think another one is that they also centralize the registration process to the district. And again, from a popular democracy perspective, and from somebody who believes that the people, and I mean people as ordinary people, are the, power resides with them, I would I will really try to decentralize as much as possible to the remotest part of Ghana, because that's the only chance for people to exercise their constitutional right to decide who governs on their behalf. So again, that was a serious. I was so, I was sad when those CI that CI was passed. I said, what will explain this? What is your objective? And then another one was the registration in the middle of COVID.
Yes.
And as part of as part of my responsibility and my concern that this was wrong, I actually went out monitoring how are people registering in the middle of COVID.
Oh, you went to see for yourself?
Yeah, I went around monitoring. Around Tamale, I went to Bolga, and I went to the villages around Bolga. And, people were just not exposing themselves. They call it super spreader event. The registration centers were super spreader events. And we are talking about people that we want to protect. So I was shocked. I was shocked. And so these were some of the things. If I would not really be able to sit there, if I were the one, and say I'm a political scientist who knows what democracy is and what the purpose it serves. So when you read during that super spreader registration exercise, a lot of people were infected, the statistics, and the fatalities increased. So that means people, it had a very serious effect on ordinary citizens. People lost their lives because of that registration exercise. And what is the purpose of that registration when people will lose their lives? Mind you, when this was it started in June, and I was just in the thick of the COVID, and we're subjected to all kinds of restrictions. We're told to physically distance, social distancing, nose mask, and all that. All those things were not obeyed during the registration exercise, even though in theory they said they were putting those protocols in place, but they were not obeyed. So this was another issue that I would have been reluctant to be part of such a team, because I would just say this is not democracy. You are putting the lives of people in danger. And what was it for? Because a year to
there was registration.
There was registration. Yeah. Millions of dollars or STDs were spent updating or revising the register, and it was a solid register. No register can be perfect. It was even used to run the district and then
the local government elections.
Elections, and there was no problem. So why in the middle of COVID are you doing this with so many millions of dollars? So I mean, not from any. I was just from a common principle that democracy is about the people. I would have been just long time gone because of these things. So I'm not asking why he didn't go, but I thought this would have been the political science, point of view or perspective that you can really go out there and give a press conference and say, I'm a political scientist. These are the reasons I'm going away. But now I don't know. But like I said, he's an excellent scholar. So
yeah, he's back. He says he's going back to the academia.
Yes.
Anyway, well, Prof, let me turn to the book.
Yes, yeah. I signed one for you, for you and the team.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
This is the book. Alaska, please capture it for me.
Yeah.
State capture in the militarized fight against illegal small-scale gold mining in Ghana. And it's written by him, Jasper Abembia, Ayelazuno, and Maswell Akansina Aziaba.
Yeah, who is now late, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. And the forward is written by Erastus Asaridonko, one of the journalists who has been covering that.
Doing a good job.
So Alaska will capture the book. So you see, this is the book that Prof has put together. And the perspective is on state capture. That's an interesting perspective to go from. Why did you decide to do that? Because the focus has been on the environmental crime, the involvement of the average Ghanaian, among others. Why was the state capture thing for you the most important aspect of what we're seeing at the time?
Yes. State capture became so important because as not just as an academic exercise and then theory, but to talk about the academic aspects. Here we are all governed by the state. The state is the most powerful thing, or if you want to relate it, entity. It can say you should sleep today and you have to sleep. It can prosecute you. It can limit when the Constitution provides all kinds of basis for the state to take extraordinary measures to limit the rights of citizens when it is necessary for keeping the stable political environment.
Okay.
And in that, considering the state as such a powerful entity, it then is a puzzle that the same state commits to fighting this very existential threat to us. Almost a chaotic situation, and then it's not able to do that. It's just surprising. It's like that's to tickle your mind, isn't it?
So
even as a journalist.
Mind-boggling to just watch.
Just watch the state that says, I am declaring I'm going to use the military to fight this, and saying that I will do this even if it will cost me my presidency. That's the most powerful person has spoken. And yet, as we it's now history that it didn't happen. It actually even worsened. So that's to tickle, and academics, you start, when there's such a puzzling situation as a political scientist, you are beginning to find out why.
Why?
And then you start searching the theories, and then corruption. I say corruption, the state can, it's just a one perversion.
Okay.
So the state is prosecuting people for corruption. So it cannot be corruption.
Okay.
It's lesser. It doesn't explain it. So we started looking for the theory, and we said state capture, as it has been theorized, especially in the South African context, really captures this monumental failure of the Ghanaian state to fight Galamsey, despite the outward commitment or declaration of war by the then president. So state capture basically means that a group of elites behind the scenes, you see the real state, but it's not the real state that is demanding the shots. It's rather people behind it and controlling it.
Okay.
So, and this is the mining oligarch and powerful party people, powerful, relatives, influential people, all controlling the state, including all the way to the inner, the highest level.
Oh, so you're saying this group have captured the state?
Yes. And it's using it to,
okay.
To pursue its interests.
Okay.
So it's about power and influence.
So
but it's not just mere influence.
Okay.
It's influence that makes the former state totally dysfunctional.
Okay.
When in the mining, in the fight against Galamsey. So they call it a shadow state. So this informal network of powerful individuals, powerful elites that we analyze in the book, basically constituted itself to a shadow state that is now using the formal state that as the president, the ministers, the police, and the army to do their bidding in terms of mining, protecting their mining interests. So this idea that we are fighting the Galamsey is just a charade.
So was it your conclusion that then ultimately what we're seeing was a sham?
Oh yeah, completely a sham. Because the military. Can you imagine? You go to and the evidence was so clear. Erastus, and we really made use of his documentaries and the vivid stories, pictures that he went down the underworld of illegal gold mining and brought out to our view. To some places you get there and military uniforms with names, the military, and there, with names, guiding certain mining, certain mines. So you get there and they attack you. You can't go there. So you can just imagine this is clear state capture, because the military is so powerful. It's now turned to something else, to be protecting the very criminals or the very crimes that is supposed to fight. So where is the state now?
The state has been captured by a shadow state.
And then by the shadow state. So that's the simple explanation. And then that's the theory. Okay. But when you go, that's the reality.
Okay.
Like, can you imagine when the state wants, and it's not that the whole, it's just in the mining sector, the Galamsey.
Okay.
And there must be a reason why it's confined to that place. But in other aspects of society, the state is very effective. Like, in terms of even organizing elections, it's a very large-scale operation, almost like mobilizing for war.
Yeah.
Imagine how the Ghanaian state does it effectively, despite some of the problems. So that means if it wants to do it,
it will do it.
It will do it easily.
So you don't see, for you, it doesn't make sense that this state fails at that fight.
No. Oh, I'm not surprised at all, because it has been captured when it comes to fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, the illegal mining. But it's very, very effective. Like I said, election is one of the biggest operations that the state undertakes.
Yet we do it effectively.
So if it wants to fight it, it will fight it. And bear in mind that this serious, menace of Galamsey, historically, just around 2013 coming, that our water bodies were not terribly polluted like that. So you trace the history of Galamsey since the era of colonialism up to that time. Galamsey had existed, but you didn't have
such a problem.
A huge
environmental challenge.
And you know why? Because it was really small scale. And in this book, we said, no, this is not small scale again. Because you have heavy machinery. Heavy machinery. So what we did again is to reconceptualize that concept
of
Galamsey, to make it that it's not the hoe and pan that Galamsey that we used to talk about, which didn't do anything to our river bodies. We now have these elites, powerful elites, who have the money, the resources to import excavators and other machines. So it's no longer your grandfather's Galamsey that you know.
So that for you, because the point you are making is that, so essentially it defeats the suggestion that this is about a few hungry people who wake up.
No. Oh, yeah. It is not for those people, they have been sacked, they have been driven away. They actually have been, their livelihoods, and from somebody who is a critical political economist, those people, we actually are the people who have suffered from this militarization, because they have been sacked. They have lost their livelihoods. Because I will advocate that those people who are using a pan and shovel, pickaxe, all these years that didn't pollute the water, I would have said, come on, let them have their livelihoods. I would say it's a livelihood activity rather than being illegal.
What are the lessons? Because our time is getting to. What are the lessons for this current administration?
And I sent this book. I gave it to the Minister for Government Communication, Honorable Felix Kwashi. I say I mean it, and I autograph it to the president. I say, this like a Bible for you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they are reading it, because it seems they might be committing the same mistakes.
Okay.
So, and that will be a serious problem, electoral problem when it comes to 2028. Because if the problem persists, as I see is persisting, then I might write State Capture Volume 2. Or somebody will start writing, not even me, because people will take this book, read, and say, oh, well, let's see what is happening now.
Okay.
And then if they see the same evidence, then again, you are going to have Volume 2.
I see.
Yes.
That's interesting. But should that not be anticipated, considering, because we have a history of calling gold, gold is, when you're rating, gold is considered a currency.
Yeah.
And when we're rating currencies, gold is on top.
Yeah.
Before the US dollar, famous.
Yeah.
When it comes to value, and considering what gold is, should a politician not expect that even myself, I will have to fight a personal battle when I come face to face with gold? Should they not anticipate that this was going to be a problem from the beginning?
And that is the question you are asking. That gold is so it's like a magnet. Who will see gold and will not go for it? But I'm saying, yes, it has been like that for decades. Yet we didn't have this problem that we are having. So the issue is not whether gold is very precious and the value. It has always been. Yet, well, market, it can, it fluctuates, but it's a very rich and a very good source of the store of value. So it has always been. But why is it that it never destroyed our environment, our water bodies? And it just started just quite recently. 2013 up to this point. So it means that something is causing it, and that something that is causing it is the elites that has, instead of going to do large-scale mining companies, go and register and say you are a large-scale mining company. You rather say, oh, you are a small-scale. Meanwhile, you are actually into mechanized industrial mining. And mining at the wrong places, the rivers and then the forestry. So the thing is, the elite, the political elite, the powerful people, not the little fishes that were, the poor people who have been doing this for decades, centuries. So the problem is, how do you deal with these elites? Powerful, they are very powerful. That's why they can capture the state. And I don't think it has stopped, because I belong to the Ghana Water Company board, and we went to places to visit, because we depend on raw water to process for Ghanaians to supply. It's terrible. And it also illustrates state capture, because you go police station, district, local government, the chief executive is just under their nose, they are doing it. So nothing, when it comes to that, let's be honest, something has to be done drastically. If you are traveling between Kumasi to Kumasi, you see them just busy working. So, and the big men are passing the sea. Those who are supposed to be fighting in the sea. We have a serious problem on our hands.
Well, Abega is wearing the replica jersey for Ghana.
I'm not a good.
You are not good at football.
Soccer, I'm not. But and again, I will say something that will shock you. I am one person. You'll be shocked. I'm one person who, the millions of dollars that you spend on all these things, and this will shock most Ghanaians. If I get a chance, I will use it to build clinics in the villages for
We spend too much money on football.
For ordinary people and heroes. I don't envy these young men who are doing their sports and other things. But we have it's just a culture, another culture. Football, soccer. So we spend a lot of money all the time. But I don't know what, leisure time and pleasure and all that. But the priority for me is schools. Children are still sitting under trees. Come on. I will not spend my money on that. So sorry, but that's my view.
Prof is not a big fan of your.
I'm not. I'm not sorry, but I'm not. I was.
That's an interesting.
I am patriotic. If the Black Stars are playing, I would definitely like if
they win.
I will definitely support them. But the amount of money
it's too much.
Yes, too much. And when you compare that to what people are going through, basic needs and all that, once you are not, when it comes to that, they cough the money out. But when it comes to these things, no.
They are not interested in throwing the money.
They don't cough out the money.
They will find the money.
They will find the money for this one. So
on clinics.
On clinics. Schools, they say, oh, we are looking for the resources. I was shocked meaning Ghanaian, but this is my view, and it's based on my intellectual perspective, which is about the people. Democracy is about the people, so everything must be about the people. So unless you have taken,
what if the people like the thing? The people like the sport.
Why you say
can see Abega dress, Nancy's dress nicely.
Why you say the people? Do you know that there are some people who don't even know that there's anything happening like this?
There's no much.
There are people who are in the villages. They are struggling to survive. Do they have time to go and to be thinking about where Black Stars, whether they are playing or not? You go to the villages and ask. There are many people. And even, what about when they are playing and you are driving? You see the hustling men and women on the streets. Do you think they are thinking about that? I'm sorry, but this is my view.
Prof can agree with you and disagree with you too. So, in fact, Prof has been a useful resource for us. We learn a lot whenever we speak.
Okay, thank you very much.
Because of the way you connect the theory to the practical.
Yes.
You do not just come and comment on you, tell us about what the literature says.
Yes.
And we all learn a lot when we have a conversation with you. Prof has authored a book, State Capture in the Militarized Fight Against Illegal Small-Scale Gold Mining in Ghana. To him, this explains why we will fight forever and we will never win. Because the people who are fighting are the same people who are digging. So the state has been captured. Whilst he's fighting, he's digging. So it won't go anywhere. Professor Jasper Abembia Ayelazuno, and condolence, and of course, may the soul of Maxwell Akansina as Yaba continue to rest in peace.
Amen.
Prof, thank you.
Thank you very much. And it's great to be here. Thank you.
Coming up next is DJ Abega as the best made morning show in the capital.